All right, so this is the end of chapter 22. So the last section is hydrocarbons from Earth's crust, and we've got three categories. The first two are on this side, and then I'll flip it over and show you the other side. So natural gas, which is mainly methane, ethane, propane, a little bit of butane. And there was a part to those notes where we wanted to talk about the liquefaction of natural gas. So how do we separate these four components and get just propane, just methane? Well, we do that with liquefaction. And that is slowly cooling a mixture of gases until the substance that has the highest boiling point condenses into a liquid. So if you take a mixture of gases and you start to cool them, eventually they're going to turn into liquids. But they don't all do that at the same temperature. So we cool. One of them condenses into a liquid. We stop cooling. We hold it at that temperature. We drain that liquid out, and then we repeat. We cool it some more until the next component turns into a liquid. Stop cooling, drain it out, etc. And then you get all the pieces individually with only minor traces of the others. All right, petroleum is our liquid form of hydrocarbons in the Earth's crust. It is a huge sludgy mixture of lots and lots of compounds. Straight, branched, and aromatic compounds, up to 40 carbon atoms. So you've got a lot of variation in what you'll find in petroleum. Okay, there's going to be other things as well, maybe a little bit of sulfur, little contaminants of other types of molecules. Now, to separate petroleum into its components, it's very similar to this. It's relying on boiling points. Okay, so we take fractional distillation. And that is, we heat petroleum up. We vaporize the entire thing, so super high temperatures, and then we send it through cooling chambers. Now in the book they showed like one cooling chamber, like this big cylinder, and then there were pipes coming off at different temperatures. Okay, but it's much more complicated than that. If you ever drive by Sinclair, Wyoming, you're going to see a petroleum refinery there, and the cooling chambers are a little bit more complicated than a cylinder. But the different parts, the different components are going to condense in different areas based on their condensation points, their boiling points. So different temperatures are where those pieces will recondense and drain out of the mixture. And so you can separate petroleum that way as well. Okay. Major difference though is that you have to make this one a gas before you can separate it by condensation point, and this one's already a gas, so we're just cooling it. Okay. The final category, very important to Wyoming, is coal. Okay, so our solid source of carbon in Earth's crust. And there's four different categories or classifications of coal, and they are based on hardness and carbon content, but it also includes water content. So here's our four types of coal: peat, lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. Okay, and they go from softest to hardest here. The lowest carbon to the highest carbon. So anthracite is the hardest. It has the most carbon, over 85% carbon. And then from very high water to low water. Okay, now this is, relative, but we want to just make sure that you understand, if you're burning something, you want carbon. Carbon is a good fuel. So low carbon and high water, not a very good fuel. So peat is not the best type of coal when we're using it for fuels. It has a lot of byproducts when you burn it, so it'd be very smoky and not very energy efficient. Anthracite has the most carbon, the least water, so that would be by far the best type of coal for us to use as a fuel source and for energy. Thanks. If you want any answers to the lesson check questions, or if you have any questions about the standardized test prep, please just reach out to me and I will share those with you. Thanks.